Good morning, everyone. We're getting a little late start here this morning. One thing I've learned over the past 4 years is that you got to be able to react to unexpected events rapidly. Right. You never know when you're going to get that message. Obama's going to be in town tomorrow afternoon. Can you get 300 people in? What? No. Everybody's in bed already. They don't read me email in their sleep. Well, and we got here this morning and found out that they'd already set up both rooms for weddings or whatever else they do here. So I had to improvise rather quickly. And I appreciate your patience with us as we got set up. I'm afraid there are going to be more things like this as the year goes on. I think a lot of you are already getting caught up in this constant flurry of activity. You know, this isn't really a surprise how busy everybody is right now. We predicted it for 2010, and we said it's going to get just that much worse for 2012. And by the time the election comes around, we're all going to be stark raving mad because so much is going on. There's going to be so many people asking us for money and for an hour here or an hour there. So that's all proving true. I'm glad you were able to take a little time out of your schedule and join us today, as discombobulated as it may be. At any rate, why don't we all stand with for the Pledge of Allegiance. Did you want to? I'll do that. You will do that? Great. Let's let Art lead us in a prayer first.
Heavenly Father, we thank you and praise you for this very day. We thank you and praise you for the freedoms and the liberties that we have enjoyed over the years. We see, Lord, that they're challenged. We ask that you will be a part of this, Lord, and help us to turn this over. We thank you for your family. Thank you for the folks that are here. We ask that you would bless them verbally and give us a presentation on the various conditions that are happening over Tyler County. Lord, we ask for blessing on this great economy, very country that you've given us. Thank you, Lord, for all that you do.
We are truly blessed in this time to be chosen for this mission, and we're blessed to have people like Art help us with our prayers. Anyway, now we can say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let's see. I think we might have some quick announcements. Janie, did you have something you wanted to mention?
Just two things. That's our new spinning wheel cover for the fair. It says, how much do you know about your government? And Jim did this all on his own. Made all 27 questions for that. And this other section, I forgot.
Yeah. Half of them are about Obamacare.
Oh, how could I forget?
We're still dealing with that, believe it or not. But these are fairly new questions, most of them. And the other half is the abuse of power that's been going on with the Obama administration. And that's another prediction we had. We said if we had a big victory in 2010, he's going to resort to executive dictate. Thank God he's not Hitler. Hitler was competent. This one is not.
I believe that. I truly believe that.
Yep. Anyway, so we're going to stress the abuses of power of Obama.
Right. Jim sent the list out to you, but it's easy. You don't have to know anything before you get here. They probably don't already know. They're all true false. So they spin it. Remember last year at the fair, our nice spinning noise got everybody there. Nobody was GOP or anywhere else. But so it's just spin to see how much you know about your government and Obamacare, and then you look it up, read the question, and they guess whether they're true and false. And then when you come to the fair, if you'll just bring a bag of candy, so we have prizes for winners. Try not to eat it all. So those were two things. Also, there's a quickly made clipboard phone number, dates and times that you might be available, or just commit yourself, because these guys are so busy right now, and haven't had call or help. And what I know about us is if we call people, they help. But this time we're just calling on you to get your name on there. And so, what minimum 4-hour shifts would be great, but 2 hours you can only do 2.
Right. Yeah, just 1 hour. Usually you just get there and then you get ready to leave. So that doesn't work so well. But 2 hours and up is great.
That other thing behind that is a box from the Victory Center, and I ran up there for Lisa last night to pick up walking lists for anybody that can precinct walk around the area. We could team up and do some of that after the meeting. I'll be at the back of the bar there.
That goes.
Try to pair us up.
Thanks, Jeannie. Yeah, we like to keep building up our numbers because the more we get accomplished now, the less we have to do later. There's going to be so much later, we won't be able to keep up with it.
Well, they're looking for the independents. They already know and your walking list is to figure out where the unknowns are. And I don't know about anybody else who walked last time, but they have like three addresses for a house, and a 4th one would be in there. So that every time we find someone that doesn't want our literature, it saves them $6 a house. So it's an easy script, and people seem to really appreciate it and act on. You know, I just wear my Tea Party thing and say I'm worried about my country and trying to make a difference. And most, somebody says they're union, you just move on. But you feel good that you're helping with the identification. So everybody's a little shy at first, so if you have never done it before, we'll pair you up with somebody who has. Doesn't take long to feel comfortable, really.
Right. Yeah, most people find they like it after about the second door.
Oh, and
Hey, listen, Dad, this is fun.
if you can't do that, if you can't walk, because some people can't walk, Victory Center is open from 9 to 9 every single day, and from 9 to 6 on Saturday, closed Sunday. And it's, where Sharon Center is? It's straight towards Wadsworth on 94, about a mile on the right, in a plaza that advertises 69 Taps, little brewery restaurant. So I should know the address, but that ought to get you there. No, that's Sharon Circle. I'm just saying that's your marker. 94, 18, 94, through Sharon Circle, continuing to Wadsworth. And it's not very far before the 94 curves into Wadsworth. So if you're closer to 24, then just come 24 to 94 through Wadsworth, and you'll find it on the right if you're coming from Sharon. And on the left if you're coming from Wadsworth.
You say Victory Center, who's running that?
The GLP.
The GOP.
The GLP.
Right. Yeah, Jim Renacci also has a campaign headquarters about 3/4 of a mile down the road.
Right.
And if you want to work the phones, you can work either one. Matter of fact, they'll give you walk books at either one. So.
I can look over there and see if there's an address if someone wants it.
Okay.
I don't look at that box.
Great. Thanks, Jenny. It's very unusual to be right here, but we've had an awful lot of good news lately. I'm not sure if you're aware of it all. Many people have been very concerned about the end around the Obama administration has been trying with the United Nations to pass treaties that would essentially supersede our federal sovereignty. The law of the sea treaties was one of them that would grant them sovereignty over our Navy, etc., fisheries, etc. And Senator Portman, and I don't remember how to pronounce her name, another potential vice presidential nominee, just about a week ago cast a deciding commitment to oppose that, which pretty much drove the last nail into his coffin. So the law of the sea treaty is pretty much dead. And one that scares even more. Right, that's the number 2, and it's a big one. The attack on our Second Amendment rights, granting them through this Orange Treaty, the ability to overturn our gun ownership, that one was shot down in flames, and you can chalk that one up to the NRA. The Obama administration was and in the polls, it looks like Romney is starting to take the lead, which is great. We can thank Barack Obama for that. Yeah, I mean, Romney has been really doing a good job speaking the conservative line lately. We've got to give him credit for that. But in all seriousness, there's that old super confident Barack Obama shooting himself in the foot again with, "You didn't build that." Somebody else built that. What a great president to run against. At any rate, we've gone on with our preliminaries. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Now it's Bev's moment to feel funny. At any rate, so there's much to celebrate. I'm really glad to see those 2 trees shot down. I think that's probably the end of it, with the United Nations taking sovereignty over the United States. Yes, sir. Agenda 21. If they couldn't get those 2 through, I don't think they're going to be pursuing Agenda 21 any further. But we will be definitely keeping an eye on that. I can speak for David Frost. He will be keeping an eye on that for us. So, there we go. And Bev, I think we've finished the preliminaries. I think many of you have met Bev Goldstein in other places. I'm reminded of one of the big names of the conservative movement, Richard Vickery. He's got a favorite phrase he uses, run to the sound of the guns. And many of the patriots I know do just exactly that. When you hear the sound of the guns, you run there. You almost always find Bev Goldstein if it's in Cleveland.
That's a real compliment, Jim. Thank you.
It is, and I think you deserve it. Bev, you've been keeping track of what's going on in the Cleveland area, and we appreciate your update.
Okay. First of all, I want to say that your name is very important, MCFAN, Medina Area Friends and Neighbors. We need you to be our friends and neighbors to Cuyahoga County, because things are getting awful messy up where we live. I also want to just give you a little bit about me. I'm 64. I live in Beechwood. Beechwood is the epicenter of Jewish liberalism. You can't, well, Shaker and Cleveland Heights too, but I live in a very difficult place if you're a real conservative. So you can move or you can fight, so we're fighting. I'm here this morning. My husband's in the hospital. I didn't want to cancel because I thought coming and talking to you was really, really important. I'd like to point out someone else who's here with us today. Jerry? Brian. Brian is formerly on Josh Mandel's staff, and right now he has been hired through November to help the Republican Jewish Coalition in our community get out our vote in our community. So I didn't know he was going to be here today, but I just wanted to bring to your attention, we're trying to round up the horses in our area and make a difference. There's a bunch of us in Cuyahoga County who live all over the place, who sort of found each other and got very concerned about Obama's past, got very concerned about the influence of socialism and communism and the things that Jim was just referring to in our government, and very concerned about who's coming to Cleveland to participate in the next few months in this election. So all of these things kind of came together and we started to get going on these issues. So I'm going to just kind of sit down and go through my PowerPoint and kind of talk about the things that are of concern. I started out telling people in Cuyahoga County, it doesn't matter where you live, voter fraud is coming to your neighborhood soon. And Cuyahoga County is going to be, everybody says the election is going to be decided in Ohio, and I'll tell you, the election is going to be decided in Cuyahoga County. So we don't have a minute to stop. We don't have a minute to hold back. No phone call, no request, nothing is too demanding right now for our side to get going. These are the areas that I identified as of concern. The Obama Campaign for America is actively moving in and housing out-of-state volunteers in Ohio, targeting Northeast Ohio. I have a neighbor, she's Catholic, I'm Jewish. We call ourselves the Beechwood Belvoir Chicks because we're kind of taking over, you know. If she doesn't hear it on the Catholic side, I hear it on the Jewish side. So she was babysitting. She's got an MBA in marketing, but she decided that with 5 kids and a lot going on, she'd just do babysitting for people on the side, kind of. And she was at a house a few months ago, and a lady's got her house up for sale, and she's just kind of feeding the kids. And an appraiser comes over to see what she needs to do to get her house on the market. And Debbie overhears this conversation, which kind of goes like, you know, 4 years ago we moved 8 kids into our basement to work on the Obama campaign. And if we're still here in November, we're probably going to be doing the same thing. This is one house, one person that we don't know that well, but she took in 8 people. That's a lot of people to put in your house, you know. So I want to distinguish between nothing's wrong with people coming in and helping efforts. We can bring people in on our side and help the effort too. If you come to Ohio and you stay more than 30 days and you register to vote, but you are not planning to be in Ohio permanently, you have broken the law. So I'm going to explain that a little bit further in a minute, but there's nothing we can do about activism. But we don't want these people voting. So not only do we worry about dead people voting, we worry about people who are not entitled to move to our communities and vote. Whoa, well the talk is done, I guess. I think we'll have to back up here a minute, go back to where we need to be. I'm not sure what I did, but I'll try not to do it again. Okay, here's where we are. The Greater Cleveland Congregations, how many of you have heard of GCC? Well, when I'm done, you will never want to hear of GCC again. I'm telling you, these people are really the problem for us. It's subsidiary of the Alinsky-based Industrial Areas Foundation. How many of you have heard of the Industrial Areas Foundation? Okay, well, we'll learn about that today too. It's going to be good. I'm really glad I'm here. And their stealth agenda has infiltrated more than 40 religious institutions in Cuyahoga County, and congregants are reporting political activities within some of the facilities. So they come in talking about sustainable food and fixing education. And these are people who aren't from our area. Like, do I want to go to Pittsburgh and fix food? No. I want to fix food in my own community. So these people are coming in under the guise of kumbaya, and they are really going to be mounting a very, very aggressive voter campaign on their side. Deceased and other eligible former residents' names remain on voter rolls, requiring a massive volunteer effort to purge them so they cannot be accessed for legal voting. I'm going to be explaining what the problems are. Some things are actually in the improvement stage. The Ohio Revised Code 3503, Voters' Qualifications and Registration, states that persons registering must declare, this is from the Ohio Revised Code, our law, that people must declare when they register to vote that they have not moved here for temporary purposes and have become permanent residents. The statewide approved voter registration form did not include that language for temporary purposes or permanent. Therefore, it did not comply with the state statute encouraging persons to register fraudulently. The Romney campaign is embarking on a historic door-knocking campaign to identify unaffiliated voters throughout Ohio. That's what Janie was just telling you in detail about. At some point, there will be a voter registration effort. It's going on now. This PowerPoint was written 2.5 months ago. We need the updated voter registration form in the county offices now. Reports on the internet describe easy remote control hacking into voter counts in Diebold and other voting machines. So these were the 6 areas that I identified as the problems that we needed to address. Some of them relate to Cuyahoga County and some of them related to the state in general. Okay, I don't know where my PowerPoint presentation went. Okay, solutions for decreased deceased person voter roll removal. A project that's housed in Cincinnati called the Ohio Voter Integrity Project took on the True the Vote project, which started in Texas. And I don't know if there's anyone in your county involved, but Janie is the person.
Well, yeah, people here too. Put your hand up if you can join the ranks.
Okay, in Cuyahoga County, our coordinator is Sharon Ely. She lives in Brecksville. Sharon and I met each other in like 10 minutes. We were best friends for life. That's what we all need to do when we find each other. We need to like go, what do you do? How do you do it? What do I do? How do I do it? How do we work together? So Sharon and I never met each other before, and we're in touch constantly. Sharon is getting volunteers trained through the True the Vote program, and the voter rolls are going to be gone through. There are a couple other positive things in addition to what volunteer groups are doing, and that is the Secretary of State's office has joined the National STEVE, S-T-E-V-E effort. I forget what STEVE is an acronym for. I should have written it down. What they're doing is they are identifying and documenting deceased persons, people who die in one state but are registered to vote in a different state, and they're trying to merge these databases nationally. So John Husted's office is making efforts to participate in this national program. It really benefits everybody. So certainly our side, because we want people to vote where they live and only one time and only if they're breeding. Okay. Well, it's kind of, that's the basic things. Well, vote where you live, vote once, and vote if you breathe. So, anyway, this is what's happening. A lot of people are joining the True the Vote effort and actually signing up to help clean up the voter rolls in Cuyahoga County, because you do it online. So those of you who are not yet affiliated with Janie's program, you can sign up through Janie, and if there are needs in this county, people were saying, well, you know, why would I help Cuyahoga County? We want to fix voter fraud in my county. There's probably some voter fraud in every county. You have to decide, hold on, let me finish my sentence, and then you can take over for a minute. What we're saying in Cuyahoga County is, if you live in a county in Ohio where the likelihood of voter fraud isn't high enough to impact turning you from a red county to a blue county, then think about helping in Cuyahoga. Yes, Jean, go ahead.
The first thing they said to me when I talked to the 4 ladies in the Cincinnati area, well, I talked to one of them, was that everyone thinks voter fraud is in other counties, not their own. And I did too. I said I want to help in Cuyahoga. Well, then when I became the contact person for our county, a person in Seville who worked the polls in 2004 and 2008 signed up. So I called her up to talk to her, and she said, I'm not going to be a poll worker. I'll never do that again. I saw working in the boards of elections, if someone comes to vote, they vote. And the Republicans and conservatives in the election board were trying to carefully double check people. Do you remember seeing lines of people around the building outside of the boards of election for the month that they could vote in 2008? No, 10.
Yeah, well, we had lines around downtown that were twice around the
Well,
building.
she was in charge of early voting, and a preponderance of the people lined up were from Cuyahoga County and were double voting in Medina. And they knew that, they were checking it, and they were shut down by Bruner. First it was just the Democratic person who was in charge of the polls, and you know these people, please don't repeat this stuff, we don't want lawsuits, I'm just telling you what I was told. But she said, I will gladly research Medina. And it's absolutely true that Cuyahoga, it's rampant and organized. But even in Medina, I think I mentioned this before, one of the teachers I worked with, oh, we have ACON workers, I'm so proud. I thought, oh God, I went to vomit. That's before I even knew what was going on. I just knew my own politics. But the thing about True the Vote is if you do our county, and Jack Stein's involved with it, Dick Zalek and his wife Diane are MCFAN people, but he golfs on Saturdays, so we haven't seen him. But he's our research leader. Dave Frost is also a research leader. We have at least 10 people already signed up that are working it. But it's the thing about the database. It's owned by Texas. So they load the stuff on their database, which is this fantastic thing. They rank orders voters and what's likely to be the most suspect. So those are the first ones at the top of the list. So the first I got was nursing home, where there's 80 beds and 120 people registered there. That's not necessarily fraud, but it's cleaning up the ranks to make it easier. But it's possible for fraud if you have people who are going to try to take advantage of that. So even if you're just working Medina, you can help with that. But we don't need 1 million people here working Medina. But you can be contiguous. You can be in Franklin County in North Iowa, because you're just online for that county. But the thing that comes to the top, there's a Google. You can check on Google Earth if it's Jack in the Box or a vacant federal housing place where 800 people are registered. You challenge them all, and they all get sent for challenge. So they've worked really hard to figure this out. But 45 states are trying to work with Texas, and everyone's getting upset that this is taking so long. Well, they're the King Street Patriots. They're just like us. You want to get online, you can read. They have open meetings every Monday, and they archive them so you can learn from them. They're fantastic people leading our country. They had a national conference on voter fraud. So we're just getting started here, but we have this huge thing going on in the county next to us. So I just wanted you to know that they were even using Medina